Hello, fight fans. Welcome to Box of the guys. And if you're new to the channel, click the like and subscribe right now. So, if you're Ajagba, looking at his current record now, he now has 11 wins, 11 fights, 0 losses, and 0 draws. Um, you know, I have to say Ajagba did well. He did well. People are now saying that Ajagba got exposed. Boxing fanatics and hardcore boxing fans are saying that Ajagba is not as special. That has been exposed by Eren Demirezen. This Turkish mountain of a man. I have to say that even though Ajagba, has been in the game for quite some time now. He's an Olympian. Eren Demirezen is also an Olympian. He's not just a random guy from the street. I know Eren Demirezen's one of his team member, who follows me on Instagram. And I've been seeing clips of the guy training hard. Yeah, Eren Demirezen is not the most fastest guy, but you cannot deny the fact that this guy has got one hell of a chin. So Ajagba stated prior to the bout that he was going to knock Eren Demirezen out in the first or second round, thinking Demirezen was a walk in the pack, but not knowing that Demirezen is one hell of a good fighter. Demirezen is still a C-class fighter, but he's one hell of a C-class fighter. If Demirezen can actually work on his weaknesses, I think he will become something very unique in the Euro division right now, because people looking at this guy will underestimate him, will say, oh, look at this guy, he doesn't look in shape or something like that, but the guy is really a hard guy to beat. So Ajagba said before the fight that he was going to knock out Eren Demirezen, being overconfident. I actually responded to that saying that, listen, Eren Demirezen is not coming to play. Yes, Ajagba would beat Eren Demirezen, that's what I said, but it's going to be a very hard fight. And I never thought it would be that hard, because Demirezen has never been to the stage. He's never been in with a guy like Ajagba, a guy who possesses a dangerous and a demolition power. And I'm surprised that Eren Demirezen, was able to take those power shots from Ajagba and took it like a chance. So people are saying now that Ajagba has been exposed. So let's analyze it. Was Ajagba exposed or not? Did Ajagba get exposed? First, I have to say Ajagba has lots of weaknesses. Lots of weaknesses that he needs to work on. I think Ronnie Cheese will try to work on it, but Ronnie Cheese is not the right trainer to do that. I'm saying as a boxing fan, I'm giving the guy advice. He will probably not listen, but if he does not change, if he doesn't actually work on those weaknesses, he's going to get beat badly. Beat badly by a more faster guy, a more faster Eren Demirezen. A guy like, let's say, Ruiz Jr. Ruiz Jr. is not big enough, not tall enough to give Ajagba trouble. But I believe that with Ruiz Jr.'s speed, Ajagba will not be able to deal with that. It's going to be too much, because if Eren Demirezen had a little bit of speed in him, he would have actually gave Ajagba hell. In fact, maybe stopped him. Because he blindsided. Listen, he almost closed Ajagba's eyes, man. Ajagba's face were swollen up. I've never seen Ajagba beat up so bad like that. But was he exposed? I would say, not yet. A little bit, because we thought Ajagba has learned from his mistakes. Because right from day one, people have been saying, listen, the guy footwork is not good. Ajagba don't have a good footwork. He don't really move. And also we have this problem of head movement. No head movement. No head movement. You cannot be a fighter, a heavyweight fighter, and not have any head movement. Imagine just okay. Looking at Eren Demirezen. Eren Demirezen actually, you know, uh, you know, ducked some of Ajagba's power punches. He slipped it and then came back with an override hand, override hand. So Eren Demirezen was very very technical. I mean, he did not fight like a guy who came here to survive. He fought like a champion. That was a champion performance from Eren Demirezen. I know he's not getting the credit. I know media are trying to take credit away from Eren Demirezen, but this guy, if this fight took place in Turkey, I believe that Eren Demirezen would have beaten Ajagba. So what does Ajagba has to work on to actually avoid getting embarrassed in the future? Because right now, his trainers, they are going to look at this performance and say, "Woo, we shouldn't have brought Eren Demirezen in." So now we have to look for someone easier, And I think Ajagba needs to have fights like this, okay? Fights like this. I'm saying fights like this to grow as a fighter. Because if you put Ajagba in now with a bomb, with a total bomb, maybe a CF level fighter, what will happen? Ajagba will shine, and then when they get to the big stage, get totally exposed. Because in this boxing game right now, in this heavyweight division, there are guys like Dubois who are actually growing, who are actually improving in every of their fight. Okay, Dubois did not impress me that much against Richard Latte, even though he knocked him out, but it didn't impress me. He got wobbled and he got a little bit exposed. But Dubois actually learned from that fight. He learned from that fight. And when he got in with Nathan Goma, he showed that he has learned from his last fight. He kept the jab in the face of Nathan Goma. Nathan Goma is a much more better boxer than Eren Demirezen. Huh? Nathan Goma is a much more better boxer than Eren Demirezen. But Eren Demirezen has a chin made out of rocks. So I've never actually listened. The only person I can say has a similar chin, maybe someone like Chisora. Okay, Chisora is a guy that you have to kill to beat. You have to punish him to be like Chisora. Used to be that guy. Even still is still a guy that can actually give lots of people, lots of guys right now in the top 10 problem. In top 5, top 5 problems. Even a guy like Joseph Parker is going to have a hard time against Derek Chisora. So the heavyweight division looks all excited, and it is something that we have to be very, very happy about. We have to applaud, So Ajagba always base, his hard punching, his hard punch. The Ajagba always try to overpower his opponent, and that's not a good thing, because if Eren Demirezen had some speed in him, he would have actually they give him problems and probably score an upset. And Ajagba always rests on his punches. Okay, he always rests on his punches, because whenever he throws a punch, it takes him a while before he actually returns his hand. You know what I mean? Before he actually pulls back so he always trying to rest on his punches. And if you're going with a guy like Andrews Jr. and you rest on your punches, you're gonna get blasted out. Because a guy that possesses skills, okay, when I say skills and also pace, speed, will give Ajagba one hell of a fight and might probably beat him. So as Ajagba been exposed a little bit, I will say, but we already knew about the footwork problem. we've said in the past that his feet is not doesn't move fast enough. You have to move that feet. I mean, I know we know that Ronnie Cheese trained Mike Tyson, at one point. We know that, but Mike Tyson wasn't really the biggest defensive fighter, So Ajagba must at this stage right now, because in the other division, it only takes one punch. If you don't learn on your mistakes, believe me, you only get yourself to blame. Okay, so Ajagba is not. Is he a hype job? It's not really a hype job. You know what I mean? Because he overcame diversity. That was a real diversity for him. Like, he never thought Eren Demirezen could take all his power. Ajagba threw all his power punches. All. Okay, the right hand wasn't really that wasn't active enough. He was not active enough with the right hand. Okay, the right hand, he leaned it backward. He throw it once in a while. Why don't you just throw the right hand often? The guy keep throwing. He would throw one right hand and then throw another right hand the next round. That does not work that way. You've got to throw more right hands, and throw your power punch. Don't just. And when Ajagba does not actually possess a snappy right hand like their Water. If you look at Water, you see when he throw that right hand, it's very snappy, quick, and hard to measure. So Ajagba doesn't have that. You can see Ajagba's right hand coming miles away. You understand? So he needs to definitely learn on that, and he needs to start throwing punches with speed. Okay, with speed. Sometimes you don't have to let your opponent, know where you're coming from. Okay, and Eren Demirezen knew what Ajagba. Eren Demirezen studied Ajagba from A to Z. This guy studied Ajagba. He knew when Ajagba would throw a jab. Okay, he walked on he walked through every of Ajagba's jab. He knew when Ajagba was going to throw an uppercut. He took it like a champ. He knew when Ajagba was going to throw combinations. Listen, this guy was ready for Ajagba. I believe he's been studying Ajagba, and this could have been a very different result if it wasn't if it took place in Turkey. I'm just telling you the fact right now. It would have been a different result. Eren Demirezen would have had more fans. Imagine Turkish fans came to support their own. Okay, where were Nigerian fans? There, I didn't. Turkish fans were chanting, and were all celebrating. Ali, chanting Ali in the ring, and Joshua were not there. You know why? Because of what Ajagba said about Joshua. Listen. When you start going against Joshua, you start losing your killer instinct, because you are now thinking about another guy who was already made it, who was already in the top. Even though Andrew Jr. defeated Joshua is still the top guy, the cash cow in the division. Andrew Jr. is no cash cow, and that's the fact. It's crazy. Eren Demirezen showed me something unique. I have to say that this guy is a talent to watch out for. Will he last? I will do that. I will do another video for that, just to talk about Eren Demirezen, and his style, whether he will last in the division or not. Because guys like this, and some of them last, some of them don't. But I believe with his chin, my God, this guy will give anyone problem, including Water, it will give anyone problem. His chin is just too strong, too solid. I mean, can you imagine Ajagba hitting him with those right hands, like left hook? Ajagba hit him to the body. This guy did not move on it. He kept coming back, and also landed the zone. It's not like he let Ajagba bamboozle him. No, he went to Ajagba and gave Ajagba hell. He also beat up Ajagba as well. Both of those guys, both of them gave it and took it. Ajagba shouldn't have even, with his size, with his height, shouldn't have even received a lot of punishment, But Ajagba took lots of punishment because he has no head movement and no footwork. No goddamn footwork, man. You don't just rest on your power punches like that. You gotta snap with it, and move back. You have to know how to move your feet. Because when you get to the elite, not even elite, let's say when you get to top 10, okay? Right now, you're top 50 now, okay? You're top 50 now, but when you get to top 10, it's a different ball game there. In fact, who is ranked higher? Ajagba is 50 in the top 50, and let's look at Eren Demirezen rank here. You see? Top 33. The guy is top 30. Top 30. So he's a top 30 everywhere. Ajagba is top 50, meaning, he's a better boxer than a better fighter than Ajagba. On paper. You see? So Ajagba, I don't know, man. I just wish, I wish I would enjoy brother luck. I hope he learns from this, because it would have been I would have hated, even though people say, I hate Ajagba, or I talk shit about Ajagba. Listen, I have my reasons why I do that. I have my reasons why I do that. Until he change and learn to be humble, he would not stop getting hit from BBC. And by the way, I got a message from when I was live for White Oscar Rivers. Some guys, what's their name? I don't know their name. Carlito, something like that. They wrote me and said the one said he lives in Frankfurt. He want me to give him my address and come and give me a slap or something like that. Listen, I told that guy, right? If you don't also not get mad, when I write me for Instagram, okay? You say you did Frankfurt. Frankfurt is just 1 hour away from here. Just write me, okay, on Instagram. Tell me your address. In fact, just tell me the day we go meet. I just made one call I go make to my guys for that place. They'll come see you for your place. It's just simple. I don't get time to come meet you, to come fight you, but I could come meet you face to face. You feel me? So I will meet you face to face. But before me and you leave that place, something must be taken away from you before you leave that place. All of you now come Germany here, can do area boys will come from what you got, can do any year for you. Listen, you're not in Nigeria. If not Nigeria in every day, so I will not track you already. You understand? But you're not in Nigeria. The difference between if I do you something here now, if I do something here myself, if I fight myself now, I think a problem. You understand? But I know guys who will do it for me. Okay, so you guys that are invisible, whether they are trolls, just write me on Instagram. You say you day Frankfurt, Abi, you day Frankfurt, Abi. Frankfurt are just 1 hour away. Write me your address or tell me when we go meet. Maybe we will meet for Nigerian consulate for there. I think on that place. Just tell me the day. Not a craze. Not fire love over there. As I say, that congratulations to Ajagba. He needs a lot. Listen, I think he got a little bit exposed tonight. Okay, a little bit exposed tonight. Ajagba is not ready for the top 10 guys. No, not ready at all. Not ready, man. He needs to work. 1, on his defense. 2, on his footwork. 3, speed. 4, head movement. Listen, Ajagba needs a lot to work on, a lot. And also, don't rest on your punches. You don't just throw one punch and then throw another punch. I don't know. In the next minute, like you've got to, like listen, combinations sometimes are key to defeating guys who are pressure fighters. Eren Demirezen is a pressure fighter. So combination sometimes can help, or a constant jab. That reminds me, by the way, Ajagba needs to develop a double left jab. Double left jabs. You saw Dillian White did that against Oscar Rivers. If Oscar Rivers was in that ring tonight, it would have been Ajagba easily. Easily beat Ajagba. Because Oscar Rivers is also a pressure fighter. And Oscar Rivers possesses more power than Eren Demirezen. Oscar Rivers also has an iron chin, so Ajagba has a long way to go. Okay, a long way to go. He's a monster because he has the power, but his boxing fundamentals has to improve. The footwork must improve. Head movement, he has none, must improve. No head movement at all. He has no head movement. He must improve. Speed must improve. If not, you're not going anywhere. Speed must improve. What's next? Footwork. That is a must, because sometimes when you're tired, or sometimes when you're taking lots of punishment, because he took lots of punishment from Eren Demirezen, he can use his feet to move around the ring, So, he's the tempo of his opponent and then come back again. That's how you do it. But Ajagba has no head movement, so he's a guy that really want to brawl. He's like a brawler. I like the fact that he uses his reach and height sometimes, but this time around it did not work out because Eren Demirezen was backing him up. Eren Demirezen was pressuring him, pressuring Ajagba, and giving Ajagba hell. A guy like Ronnie Hernandez, would have already got knocked out. Maybe in the 6th-7th round. Ronnie Hernandez, when he fought Ajagba, was just bleeding, like he was bleeding all over. I didn't see one drop of blood from Eren Demirezen. That guy took punches after punch, powerful punches, right hands, uppercut, left hook to the body. He took everything and never bled once. But that was I'm very impressed by Eren Demirezen. I'll do a video for about the guy, and see what's next for the guy. That guy is a Poland man. So guys, give it a thumbs below, like the video, share, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're new, subscribe. What are your thoughts about the performance of Efe Ajagba? If you watch the fight live, okay, if you because some people, when they watch highlights, they just think that's how the fight went. Nah, the fight was very different from the highlights I've seen so far. The fight was more competitive, and it was one hell of a fight. If you watched it live and direct, what are your thoughts? How did you score all the rounds? What do you think Ajagba needs to improve on, etc. Let's give our Nigerian brother, hope. Hope is not lost. This is the first time he's going a distance, so I think he will improve. But Ajagba, overcame diversity. I have to say that Ajagba, he's going to learn from this. Hopefully learn from this, because it's nice saying it, but what if Ronichid is not the man to actually teach him some defensive tactics? A guy like Jonathan Banks, I think, can do a very great job with Ajagba, and make his defense solid. Okay, his offense. I think a guy like Freddie Roach can actually improve his offensive tactics. Attacking with speed and power and pace and agility. But boxing is a dirty game, and Ajagba, is really on the cheat. Is like a dad, according to what I heard. So they're gonna stay with the same guy. But I believe that, listen, Ajagba, if he does not learn, from this, if he does not improve, and I want to see him fight someone credible next. I don't want to see any bomb, because that will actually not teach him anything. Because if you hit one guy twice, 3, 4 times, Then when the guys go down, I mean, you think you are the best boss in the world, the best prospect, but when you fight someone tough, that's how you learn from your mistakes. And just like Dylan White, when he fought Chisora, he learned from that. Before Chisora, White was not really that intelligent in the ring, but now he is. You watched the Oscar Rivas fight. You saw how he was able to overcome diversity. Being knocked down, came back and outclassed Oscar Rivas. Almost blended his left eye. So Ajagba need pressure. He needs to spar with pressure fighters who come to pressure him. Guys like Andrew Jr., Derek Chisora, and Eren Demirezen. Eren Demirezen should be invited for the Joshua training camp. He should be invited to Joshua's training camp. I think he will help Joshua a lot with his pressuring style. I just believe that things are going to be very interesting to see, man. Every division is not an easy division. One punch can change everything. One punch. So guys, give it a thumbs below, like the video, share, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Go follow me on Instagram at Boxing Block Setter. Follow me on Twitter at Boxing Block, and as well on Facebook. I beg, at Boxing Block Setter. Share, guys.